Y'all see them and get your thoughts on the game.
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but like, I hate this team.
I feel you, coach. We'll be better tomorrow.
All right. Before we even get into the breakdown, we need to reset the conversation around this season because the narrative matters. Coming into the year, no one realistic had the New York Jets making the playoffs. This wasn't a Super Bowl or bust season. There wasn't insane hype. Most projections had them around 7 wins, maybe 8 if things went right. That's important because this season isn't a failure because the Jets missed the playoffs. It's a failure because they missed even the modest expectations by a massive margin. Sitting at 3-12, this isn't just a bad record. It's a sign that things didn't merely go wrong. They went wrong everywhere. And what makes it worse is that this wasn't a season derailed by one moment, one injury, or one bad bounce. This was a slow, steady collapse that played out over several months. So today, I want to break down how the Jets fell this far, segment by segment. Not to rant, but to actually understand how a team with low expectations still managed to hit rock bottom. Jets fans weren't asking for miracles this season. 7-10, that was the bar. Stay competitive, show progress, build towards something. And at 3-12, the Jets didn't just miss that bar, they never came close to it. This team wasn't supposed to be good, but it was supposed to be functional. Instead, losses piled up early, confidence disappeared fast, and by mid-season it already felt like a lost year. And that's the scary part. When you fall 4 wins short of already low expectations, it's not about luck. It's not about a tough schedule. It's about structure. Even bad teams usually find ways to steal games here and then. They hang around. They punch above their weight once in a while. I will give credit where it's due. The Jets did do that a couple times this season, whether that be the Falcons or the Bengals game, or even the Browns game, if you would count that. Losses weren't close learning experiences. They were discouraging. They felt inevitable. And that's when morale dies. Not just for fans, but for players too. This wasn't a team hovering around 7 wins that just couldn't finish. This was a team that never looked like it belonged in the conversation to begin with. If you want to understand why the Jets ended up at 3-12, you have to start with the offense, and not in a vague they couldn't score way. You have to look at how they failed. Because on paper, this offense wasn't hopeless. The offensive line held up better than expected. The quick passing game worked in stretches from time to time. And early on, there was a clear attempt to build a run-first identity. But when you watch the games, a few specific problems kept showing up over and over again. Number 1, red zone inefficiency. The Jets didn't just struggle to move the ball, they struggled to finish drives as well. Too many possessions ended inside the 20 with results of conservative play calls, predictable quick throws, or stalled runs on early downs. Instead of touchdowns, the Jets settled for field goals, or worse, came away with nothing. Over a full season, that's the difference between being competitive and being buried. Number 2, predictable quick pass concepts. The quick passing game was necessary, and at times effective, but it became too predictable. Defenses knew slants were coming, flats were coming, checkdowns were coming, ball was going to Garrett Wilson, or so-and-so. Without consistent play action or a committed run threat, defenders started sitting on routes. So even when passes were completed, they went for minimal yardage. The offense stayed on schedule until it didn't. Even when Breece Hall started breaking out again towards around week 7 of the season, they still started stacking the box and adjusted to the Jets' new play calling. Number 3, third down problems. This is where everything broke down. The Jets consistently found themselves in third and medium situations. Not impossible, but difficult. And because the offense lacked explosiveness, third downs felt like uphill battles. No chunk plays meant no margin for error. One missed block, one missed in route, one slightly off throw, the drive was over. Number 4, no explosive plays. This might be the biggest issue of all. The Jets didn't scare defenses. There were very few explosive plays that flipped the field position or changed momentum. Everything was methodical. Everything required perfection. And when an offense requires perfection to score, it's already dead. You see, the Jets weren't bad offensively because they lacked effort or because the offensive line collapsed. They were bad because they couldn't finish drives, couldn't stay unpredictable, and couldn't generate explosive plays. And that set the tone for the entire season to come. When you zoom out from individual games, players, and even individual coaches, the most alarming thing about this season becomes clear. The Jets didn't really have a floor. Most rebuilding teams have a baseline level of competence. Even when things go wrong, they could still compete, stay in games, and steal wins from here and there. The Jets didn't really do that, besides maybe stealing a win from the Bengals, which is really the only steal of this season. The Falcons game came down to just an incompetent level of offense between both teams. Same with the Browns game. When things start going wrong, they don't dip, they free fall. And that's what makes 3-12 so concerning. It's not just that the Jets lost a ton of games, it's how they lost them. Momentum would swing once, and the game would be over. One mistake would turn into 5. That tells you this team doesn't really have a reliable identity to fall back on, a unit that could stabilize games, or a system strong enough to survive adversity. That isn't just a 2024 problem, it's a pattern. Different rosters, different quarterbacks, different coaching staffs, same collapse. And that points directly to the organization themselves. Because when the same issues show up across multiple areas, it stops being about talent evaluation or injuries. It becomes about culture, development, and decision-making at the top. Until the Jets establish a real baseline, a standard where even bad seasons don't turn into disasters, this cycle is going to keep repeating itself for a very long time. The bottom line is Jets fans weren't asking for playoffs. We were asking for progress. We were asking for competence. And at 3-12, that's the most frustrating part. So let me know in the comments below. What do you think is the biggest reason this season fell apart? If you enjoyed watching the breakdown, make sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel as we are on the road to 350 subscribers, which is the goal by the Super Bowl. I'll catch you in the next one. Maybe I'll make a part 2 of this series. And hey, Jets What If is releasing in the new year, so stay tuned for that. Again, thank you all so much for tuning into this very new type of video on the channel, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, Jet fans.